Today's video, we're going to go over stage 9 of artificial somnambulism. What a freaking word. The reason I'm doing this video is because I have a lot of people asking me, as free to play, how do you beat this stage? I still haven't summoned anything, so we're just using starting characters and DK, which the game gives you. If you like all my videos and content, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy dingy thing so you know when I post a video. Let's go, baby. I highly suggest do not waste any resources on any more characters other than 6, especially if you're free to play. The main reason is for all these characters and getting their resonant to higher level. There will be a point when you run out of materials to do this. And one of these materials is a material that is limited through time. And that is the moment of dissonance. The only place you can get them is through the weekly reward in artificial somnambulism, and you can get them in the fragment shop, which I highly suggest you do not do. Because as free to play, you are gonna want these crystal caskets that cost 1500. You could skip the whole process and get the brief cacophonies. God, these names are just killing me. But again, I would not waste your honorific fluid on anything for free to play except for crystal caskets twice a month. I have a level 9 resonant, a level 7, and then all the rest are level 5. When you get stuck with this resource and you can't increase the resonant level anymore, there's only 2 other ways to make your character stronger, and that is through insights and level or leveling their Psychubes. I just want you to be aware of this. The more you know. Okay, so stage 9 is the Apple and Regulus stage. But we're going to get to the Apple and Regulus stage at some point, which is the last stage, and that is the area where I feel like a lot of people are stuck at. The last battle of stage 9 AS. If you can't get past any of the floors before the last floor of stage 9, this is mainly due to all of your characters and how strong they are. If they're not at least Insight 2, Resonant 5, or 7, then you will have some issues. But really the main strategy for these higher AS levels is substituting your characters knowing what you have into the next floor. Because in later stages you have to actually drop one character and you can't bring him to the other floor until he has 1 rest. In later stages it's 2. So it gets hard, you need at least 5 to 6 characters built. Honestly, I was able to do this with 5. Because in AS Stage 9, you can only bring over 1 character from that battle to the next battle, which I use Sonetta every single time. But how I did it with these starting characters, no summons, is using Sonetta, Apple, and Eagle on one team, and then using Sonetta, DK, and Matilda on the other. I threw in Leilani as the support, but she never really came out. I didn't need her. We will go into the Regulus last battle a little bit more in depth, but really my strategy in all the floors using Sonetta is just making sure that I use her in turn as much as possible so I get her ultimate up so I can AoE all of the enemies. I'll either use Apple or DK depending on that floor to heal my team up. I hardly used Matilda, I hardly used Eagle, but I did because Eagle and Sonetta are huge together because of Eagle's passive. The sense weakness lowering the physical defense, that's why I pair Sonetta and Eagle together. I pre-recorded this video obviously, so I'm just going to go into the basics for this fight. So on the other side is Regulus and Apple. Apple is the healer, Regulus is the damage dealer. I used my Eagle Apple combo in the very first floor because I wanted to use Eagle and Apple on the 5th. As you can see, sense weakness is applied, so physical defense is lowered. This is huge for Sonetta and Eagle. The main key to this floor is killing Regulus. It's a lot easier to deal with. You won't be taking as much damage versus Apple. If you killed Apple first, then you're going to be taking a lot more damage from Regulus. But I did slow this down a little bit. When I start a battle, especially with Sonetta every time, I use the level 1 buff to get that damage up, the damage dealt down, and the penetration rate increased, right? And really what I try to do technically is just try to get Sonetta to get her ultimate as fast as possible, or if I'm trying to single target somebody down, then I will use Eagle more than not. In this stage, there is the card that gives an AoE heal and cleanse, and you want to use that kind of like near the middle of the fight, right around Regulus is right 50%. Always have Sonetta's buff up as much as possible. You're doing more damage, you're taking less damage, and her ultimate does more damage when her buff is up. So Regulus is now dead, and now all we have to deal with is Apple. Now Apple can do some damage, and he's gonna be getting heals because he's the only one casting skills, right? So he is going to be able to heal himself a lot more, and that is due to his ultimate. He's gonna be using his ultimate a lot more. You can limit the damage with Sonetta with the disarm, which is good. But really right now, it's just 2 versus 1. This actually battle came down to near the end because Apple was healing himself with the ultimate and the heal. So it was just kind of hard. But I kind of just tried to get Sonetta's buff up as much as possible, get her ult off as much as possible. Make sure to heal with Apple, with his ultimate, and with the single target heal. There's a lot of really RNG here. If I ever had the thing that actually increases the car level up, the melody, I would use that typically on her buff, Sonetta's buff, but I'd also use it on her attack as well. If Apple had 2 attacks up. But that's pretty much it. If you focus down Regulus first, you won't have as much damage output being taken. Regulus is the main threat, and then you follow up with Apple after. Like I said though, it's really about at least building 5 characters for this stage to at least Insight 2 and then Resonant 5 and level up those Psychube. That's it for today's video. I just wanted to throw this quick video out because it's been requested multiple times, just to showcase a truly free-to-play way with starting characters, no summons at all, on how to beat Regulus and Apple. If you like this video, sub, like, ding a bell. I'll see you in the next one.